Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're diving into one of Hollywood's most fascinating money stories. We're talking about Johnny Depp, a man who went from a teen TV actor to one of the biggest, most recognizable, and highest-paid movie stars in the world. But here's the twist. Even after earning more than $650 million in his career, Johnny Depp's net worth in 2025 is around $150 million. Yes, you heard that right. 650 million made, and only 150 left. So the big question is, where did all that money go? How does someone spend $500 million? And how, after all that, is Johnny Depp still considered one of the richest and most in-demand actors in Hollywood? Stick around, because this story is packed with drama, luxury, and some serious lessons about fame and fortune. Let's start with that headline number, $150 million. For most people, that's an amount you can't even picture. It's generational wealth. But when you look at Johnny Depp's career and the way he lived, that number actually tells a very different story. It's a big drop from the $650 million he once had. Somewhere along the way, about $500 million vanished. To put it in perspective, that's more than what most successful actors will earn in their entire lifetime, and Johnny Depp managed to spend it all. So how does something like that happen? Well, according to court documents and reports that came out during his legal battles, Depp was spending close to $2 million every single month. $2 million every month. That's $24 million a year. Just to keep up his lifestyle. We're not talking about the usual celebrity stuff like a nice house or a sports car. This was next level. Extravagance. It was the kind of life where money just flowed non-stop, where every whim, every impulse, every desire could be fulfilled instantly. Budgets didn't exist in Johnny Depp's world. He had multiple mansions across the globe, each needing staff, maintenance, and constant care. He owned private islands, kept massive wine collections that reportedly cost tens of thousands a month, and had a full-time security team around him 24/7. Then came the lawyers. Over the years, his legal fees alone reached shocking levels, especially during his high-profile court battles that the whole world watched. So yes, when you add up properties, staff, luxuries, and endless legal expenses, that fortune started to disappear fast. But even with all that spending, here's the part that surprises people. Johnny Depp still has enormous earning power. He's not some washed-up celebrity clinging to the past. He's still one of Hollywood's most valuable names. He can still walk into a studio and walk out with a multi-million-dollar deal, and that says a lot about his talent, his reputation, and the kind of impact he's made on popular culture. When we talk about Johnny Depp's salary, it's not a simple number. Every movie deal is different. Each one has its own clauses, bonuses, and percentages. Hollywood accounting is complicated, but one thing's clear: during his prime, Johnny Depp had some of the most lucrative contracts in movie history. His typical upfront salary for big films was around $20 million per movie. That's before filming even started. Before the movie made a single dollar at the box office, he'd already be cashing checks worth more than most people could dream of in 10 lifetimes. But that's only part of it. The real treasure came from something called back-end deals. That's when an actor earns a percentage of the movie's profits on top of their base salary. For an actor like Johnny Depp, who led billion-dollar franchises, those deals were pure gold. Take Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest. For example, he reportedly made around $60 million from that one movie. And when the fifth Pirates film, Dead Men Tell No Tales, came out, his total earnings soared to around $90 million. $90 million from a single movie. That's the power of back-end profits. And it wasn't just the Pirates franchise, Alice in Wonderland. The Tim Burton fantasy that became a global hit earned him around $68 million thanks to his profit-sharing deal. These kinds of contracts show how Hollywood's biggest stars really make their money. It's not just about acting, hours or days on set. It's about negotiating those percentage points that keep paying long after the cameras stop rolling. When you're the face of a franchise like Captain Jack Sparrow, your image is everywhere. Toys, costumes, posters, and even theme park rides. And Johnny Depp got a cut of all that. That's how stars like him turn acting into empires. And the money stories don't stop there. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Johnny Depp was paid $16 million for his appearance in Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore. Even though he filmed only one scene, the studio decided to reduce his role, but his contract was so solid that they still had to pay him the full amount. That's the kind of deal that shows just how powerful his brand really is. In Hollywood, contracts like that don't just protect you, they salute you. Now, if you're wondering how much Johnny Depp makes right now, in 2025, that's a little tricky to pinpoint. Every project has its own unique structure, and many details are kept private. But what we do know is that even after all the controversy, the lawsuits, and the media storms, Johnny Depp still commands huge paydays whenever he steps onto a set. His name still sells tickets, and that's something few actors can claim. After such a turbulent few years, but movies aren't his only income source. In fact, one of his biggest paydays in recent years came from a completely different world, the world of fashion. I'm talking about his long-running partnership with Dior, the luxury brand behind the men's fragrance Sauvage. This collaboration started back in 2015 and has become one of the most successful celebrity endorsement deals ever. What makes it even more impressive is that Dior stuck by him through his toughest times when his court battles with Amber Heard became headline news. A lot of brands might have backed away, but Dior didn't. They saw beyond the controversy. They understood that Johnny Depp's image, the cool, mysterious rebel, was timeless. And when the defamation trial ended and Depp won in the court of public opinion, Dior didn't just keep him, they gave him a raise. In 2023, Depp reportedly signed a 3-year deal worth more than $20 million to remain the face of Dior. Sauvage. That's the largest men's fragrance deal ever recorded. $20 million just to continue representing the same persona he's built for decades. It's more than most actors make for entire blockbuster films. That's the power of personal branding. But Dior is just the crown jewel. In his collection of brand deals, he's worked with Montblanc, the luxury watch and pen company, aligning himself with products that fit his artistic image. He co-owned a trendy restaurant called Man Ray in Paris, showing that he's not afraid to invest beyond Hollywood. And in 2022, he even appeared in Rihanna's Sauvage x Fenty fashion show, a clear signal that he was back in the public spotlight in a major way. Every collaboration, every brand, every appearance builds on his legacy and earns him more money. Proof that his rebellious charm still sells. But Johnny Depp isn't just about being in front of the camera. He's also passionate about creating the stories behind it. In 2004, he started his own production company called Infinitum Nihil, which means infinite nothing in Latin. He runs it with his sister, Christy Dembrowski, and together they've produced several projects that reflect his artistic taste and independence. Through this company, Depp produced films like The Rum Diary, based on his friend Hunter S. Thompson's novel, and also contributed to Martin Scorsese's Hugo. For him, producing isn't about the money, it's about artistic control. He loves cinema deeply and wants to protect its creative spirit. It's his way of giving back to an art form that gave him everything, and if acting and producing weren't enough, there's another side to Johnny Depp that many people forget: his music. Before acting made him a household name, Depp actually dreamed of being a rock musician, and he's lived that dream through Hollywood Vampires, a supergroup he co-founded with rock legends Alice Cooper and Joe Perry from Aerosmith. They've released 2 albums, one in 2015 and another in 2019, and have toured the world, playing sold-out shows. This isn't just a side hobby, it's a fully successful band that brings in income from ticket sales, albums, streaming, and merchandise. It keeps him creatively fulfilled and adds yet another revenue stream to his empire. So when you combine the music, the movie salaries, the brand deals, and the production ventures, it's easy to see how Johnny Depp continues to rebuild his fortune even after losing so much. Now, let's talk about where all that money has gone, or where it's been invested. Johnny Depp's real estate portfolio is the stuff of legend. He doesn't just buy homes, he buys landmarks. One of his most famous Properties is his French village near Saint-Tropez, and yes, it's literally a village. About 37 acres of land with multiple houses, a restaurant, a wine cave, and even a small church. He spent years restoring every building, blending old-world charm with modern luxury. It's more than just properties, it's a work of art. Then there's his collection of 5 interconnected homes in the Hollywood Hills. Instead of buying one huge mansion, he bought 5 separate houses on the same street and linked them together to form a private compound. Each space has its own purpose. For guests, for staff, for creativity, or just for peace. And of course, there's the crown jewel, his private island in the Bahamas, called Little Halls Pond Cay. It covers 45 acres and has 6 beaches, each named after important people in his life. The island runs entirely on solar power and is the ultimate retreat. Private, serene and stunning. Sometimes Depp even rents out parts of it, turning his slice of paradise into a passive income source. Right now, it's reported that Johnny Depp lives in a 19th century mansion in Somerset, England. The property perfectly matches his personality, private, artistic, and slightly mysterious. It's surrounded by miles of countryside, far away from the flashing cameras and noise of Hollywood. The house itself is a stunning piece of architecture, filled with historic details like hand-carved staircases, large stone fireplaces, and tall, arched windows that overlook rolling green fields. Locals say he often enjoys walking through nearby villages, completely unnoticed, blending into the peaceful rhythm of rural English life. For someone who spent decades in the public eye, constantly chased by paparazzi and court headlines, this quiet setting offers him something priceless: normalcy. Inside, the mansion reportedly reflects his unique taste for old-world charm mixed with eccentric artistry. Each room is said to have its own theme, filled with antiques, vintage books, musical instruments, and personal artwork. He's always been a collector, not just of possessions, but of stories and history. It's easy to imagine him spending evenings by the fire, playing guitar, sketching ideas, or writing music with close friends. The estate includes large gardens, private walking paths, and even a recording studio where he can work on new songs without interruption. He's described the countryside life as grounding, a place where he can breathe, think, and simply exist without the constant chaos of fame. After years of turbulence, Somerset gives him balance. It's peaceful but not lonely, quiet but full of character. It's the kind of environment that allows him to recharge creatively and emotionally. For Johnny Depp, this mansion isn't just another luxury property. It's a sanctuary, a place where he can finally be at peace with himself, while still surrounded by the beauty and artistry he's always loved. We can't forget his cars either. Depp's garage is filled with everything from classics to supercars. He owns a 1959 Chevrolet Corvette, a 1999, a Rolls-Royce Wraith, several Lamborghinis, Porsches, and even a Ferrari 488 Spider. Each car represents something: design, power, or just pure love of craftsmanship. Even his SUVs, like his Lincoln Navigator and Range Rover, fit his lifestyle, luxury mixed with comfort. His collection isn't just for show. Classic cars appreciate in value, so they're also smart investments. So where does that leave Johnny Depp today? In 2025, he stands with a net worth of about $150 million. It's much less than what he once had, but it still places him among the richest actors alive. And more importantly, he's managed to rebuild his reputation and career. He can still command huge salaries, close record-breaking deals, and sell out concerts. But here's the real treasure in Johnny Depp's story. It's not just about the money. It's about his resilience. He's been through lawsuits, public trials, media storms, and still managed to come out standing. He's reinvented himself again and again as an actor, musician, producer, and cultural icon. Johnny Depp isn't just an entertainer. He's a symbol of artistic rebellion. He became Captain Jack Sparrow, a character that's now part of pop culture forever. Even people who've never watched the movies know that swagger, that voice, that pirate grin. He became a brand, a legend, and a reminder that no matter how chaotic life gets, talent and authenticity can survive anything. Whether he returns for another Pirates of the Caribbean or focuses on smaller artistic films, it doesn't really matter. His legacy is secure, his influence runs deeper than box office numbers. From blockbuster hits to court battles, from rock concerts to luxury contracts, Johnny Depp has lived a life few could even imagine. Yes, he spent hundreds of millions. Yes, he made mistakes, but he also created art that changed pop culture forever, and he's still here, still relevant, still working, and still captivating audiences all over the world. That's why his story isn't just about money, it's about endurance, creativity, and identity. It's about a man who lost fortunes, fought back, and kept doing what he loves. Johnny Depp remains Hollywood's ultimate survivor, rebel who turned fame into freedom. So there you have. It is the full story of Johnny Depp's financial journey in 2025, a man who earned $650 million. Spent most of it living life to the fullest and still stands tall as one of the wealthiest, most iconic actors of all time. If this story gave you a new way of looking at Johnny Depp, make sure to like the video, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss more fascinating stories like this. And tell me in the comments, do you think Johnny Depp's wild spending was justified? Or should he have been more careful with his fortune? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.